Joined here in studio by Joe Boschulte. Joe is the commissioner for the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Tourism, and he's here to talk to us a little bit about what is going on down in the Virgin Islands these days. Joe, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Joe, when we look at the amount of activity that you're seeing, talk to us just a little bit about, how things are going in general, how much you're seeing in terms of tourism and business activity down there.
We're doing extremely well this summer in the U.S. Virgin Islands, coming off a very, very strong winter season for us, St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John. Things are looking very good. People still want to travel to the U.S. Virgin Islands, even in the summer, which for us has been historically a seasonal business. What we found over the last 2 years, and even into when we were in the height of COVID, that people have decided that it's okay to travel to the Caribbean in the summer as one of the vacation spots, and more importantly for us in the U.S. Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands seems to be a destination of priority and choice.
What are you seeing as the biggest thing that's driving people to make that choice? Obviously, a lot of different choices. Why are people saying, yeah, I want to do the Virgin Islands right now? Yeah,
I think we've been very effective in our marketing. We do lots of things up here in the New England area. We have a deal with the Red Sox. We do similar things in New York City with the New York Jets. We do similar things in Chicago. So major urban and big populous areas have helped us, because most importantly for us, particularly for stayover guests, is you need direct lift into the territory.
Sure.
So we have direct flights out of Logan, out of JFK, out of Newark, out of O'Hare, Charlotte, Miami. So when people find that they can get to a destination in under 4 hours without stopping, that helps. Secondly, I think what helps is no passport is required. So it's a U.S. territory. You don't need a passport. We always have that one friend, uncle, niece, somebody that doesn't have a passport,
sure,
or it expired, or oh my gosh, I just found out. With us, you don't have to worry about that. You can come in without a passport if you're a U.S. citizen and leave. And then I think thirdly, I think people have recognized, particularly now with the level of uncertainty in the world, that if they go to vacation, they feel safer and more secure if they travel under the U.S. flag, which, of course, we provide in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
When you talk about the different islands, I know that St. Thomas was ranked the #1 trending destination by Expedia. And obviously, look, a whole bunch of places that people can choose. What about St. Thomas in particular is drawing people to it right now?
Yeah, I think that was great. That was a huge win for us because, there were the big Las Vegas, New York City, Tokyo, major world capital cities.
Sure.
That we came out #1 as a small dot in the Caribbean. But I think what people are finding more and more is you have the conveniences of everyday life that you get in the U.S. Your ATM card works, your cell phone works, your health card works if something doesn't go right, because we are U.S. territory. And I think that combined with of course, the wonderful beaches, St. John, Trunk Bay also just recently was named #1 beach in the world. So
wow.
#1 beach in the world. So you have the opportunity to visit these landmarks. And I think lastly, we have a very warm, welcoming people, and the culture continues to permeate in everything you do in terms of the food, the arts, the music. So if you want a laid-back week or night, you can get that. If you want to go out and mingle amongst the people that live on the island, the residents like myself, you'll see us out and about. And if you just choose to have a secluded day trip on a boat between St. Thomas and St. John, you can do that too. So it allows for many different things to happen depending on your mood for a given day. And of course, we have lots of airlift coming in from the continental U.S., which helps. So it's not a hard choice to make.
You've mentioned the air travel choices a couple times, but for folks who might be more into cruises or things along those lines, what kind of options are you seeing out there these days? Has that been something that's been growing for you as well?
Well, cruise has always been the backbone of our tourism product. Mm-hmm. Of course, during COVID, we didn't have a cruise ship for 18 months.
Sure.
But now, this year, I can say that cruise is back as strong as it's ever been. One of the things that has happened, and we've seen the rebound, is early last year, there were only the hardcore cruisers were cruising. Then you got to the end of last year, people were like, oh, yeah, I think cruise is back. I think we should do it.
Yeah.
This year, you're seeing people who may have dibbled and dabbled in a cruise in the past are saying, well, instead of going to this particular city, let's just jump in a cruise. We could hit 6 or 7 ports and make it. And that's what we're seeing now. So the numbers on cruise up significantly for us in the USVI. But more importantly, the load factors in the ships are almost 100%. So they're coming in full. So which means more people are off, which means more people are shopping, seeing the tours of the islands. And of course, for us, there's a double whammy, right, in a good way, which is 30 to 40% of people that see the U.S. Virgin Islands, the first time they see the U.S. Virgin Islands is on a cruise ship when they're there for 6 or 7 hours. So if you come off, you have a great time, you're like, honey, next vacation we're going to the USVI, and that's been working well for us.
We're starting to get to the point where, families are starting to talk about, hey, kids are heading back to school. Everyone's kind of, getting ready for that. Not quite yet. It's still July, but by August 1st,
I know our schools in the same time in the U.S. Virgin Islands start back on Monday.
Yeah, I know a lot of the southeastern U.S. is in the same boat where they start then. People start to think about holiday trips and winter trips as the kids get back into school. When you look at that, any types of winter or holiday deals or any booking tips as far as making sure that you can get what you want out of a trip to the Virgin Islands?
Yeah, what I tell people, because it's funny you ask that, because over the last 4 or 5 days, I've been having a lot of people that have been coming to me. Something must be going on in the U.S. because maybe the schedules have come out with the kids or vacation pinches are coming up. So, like, John, I just learned that I got a week off for Christmas week. You think I need to book now? And I'm like, yes, you need to book now. I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't wait. I would lock it in. Same thing that's happening, because what we're finding is that we're a destination that is not necessarily deal centric because we are high in demand. But what I would tell you is you get for what you pay for. The experiences you want are there. The services and amenities in our properties, hotels, timeshares, second to none. And of course, if you choose to have the other option, which we have, almost 50% of our housing inventory is sharing economy, Airbnb, VRBO, home away from home. So there are many options for you on both sides. I would definitely book now, because I think that the opportunities for you to get exactly what you want at probably the best pricing is now. But we do expect a busy winter season.
What about events that are coming up in the winter season? What kinds of things are happening on the islands that people might be interested in attending?
Yeah, if you're a boater, we have a couple boating regatta type weekends that are happening, and trade shows that happen in November in St. Thomas. Our big cruise and Christmas festival happens the last week of December into the first week of January in St. Croix.
Very cool.
Yeah, very, very nice. St. Croix is our biggest island, and it's probably, if you talk to most people, our most laid-back island. So if you're looking for laid-back, outdoor adventure, things move with the pulse beats a little slower, that's where you want to be. Our Cruise and Christmas Festival is a wonderful opportunity for people to come in and experience the culture, the food. Of course, Carnival is our version of Mardi Gras or in Rio.
Does that happen around the same time as Mardi Gras, or is that a different time?
No, Mardi Gras is right before Lent, but ours is right around the Christmas season. So it's called the Christmas Cruise and Festival. It's in St. Croix. We have 6 to 8 nights of free, top-notch entertainment in our village. So as people come in, and it's almost like a music festival kind of feel where there's full culture.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So like if you're in the continental U.S., I always equate it to having, the country fair mixed with the music festival at the same time in the same venue.
Sure. Fantastic. Well, Joe, I appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much for the time, and we'll certainly check in with you as we head through the rest of the year here. But thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That is Joe Boschulte, the Commissioner for the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Tourism.